Now we're going to create another alert dialog here for our confirmation. So it's going to have a button that says yes or no and asks the users whether they want to delete. They're sure they want to delete or not. For that, we're going to do the same thing that we did before, which is we're going to create an external XML, go inside our layout, right click, new. I want a layout resource, and this one is going to be confirmation pop, like that. Hit enter. Has all these great things, but what I'm going to do actually at the top here, I'm going to make all of this a linear layout. So I'm going to just go ahead and write myself linear layout as such. Very good. And while I'm here, I'm going to make this linear layout orientation is going to be vertical. Everything is good. And then I'm going to start putting together everything here. So the first thing I'm going to add is going to be a card view. I'm going to make this match parent as such. Okay, that's very good. And inside here, I'm going to go ahead and construct our layout. So I'm going to put a relative layout, and there's going to be match parent and match parent as well. I'm going to give a general padding of about 23 dp. And inside of our relative layout, I'm going to start with the text view. This is going to be wrap content, what's new. So this is going to be the question, the alert. So I'm going to give it an ID that's going to say text underscore alert, like that. And I'm going to give it a string or a text that will say something like, get rid of that, sure, text. And I'm going to create, are you sure, like this. There we go. This is going to say, are you sure? Looking good. I want this to be center horizontal to be true. There we go. And let's give it another padding here to be about 6 dp. Looks good. And then I'm just going to add 2 buttons. So I'm going to say button, wrap content. IDs of these buttons are going to be, I'm going to be clever at this point. I'm going to say conf for confirmation, no underscore button. Okay. And I'm going to give a text that will say no. So I'm going to put in a string, no text. We should create something here. Say no. I'm going to give a background. It's going to be color, accent. Very good. Text color. Let's give it Android, color white. Okay. Margin top, I'm going to give about 19 dp. That looks good. I'm going to just copy this because it's going to be pretty much be the same as before. And this is going to be yes button, yes text, which we'll need to extract that. Yes, voila. And of course, I'm going to move this to be somewhere to the right there. Let's say align parent right to be true. There we go. So it's all the way to the right there. Looks like it needs us to change to something. Okay, we're going to change that to the end because that's what it wants us to do. All right, so that looks really good. We have yes and we have no. So we're going to be able to inflate that and present that to our user. All right, so we have that done. Let's go back to our recycle view. And at this point here, instead of delete, let's go ahead and create an alert dialog here. So in fact, this alert dialog builder, let's go to the top here and create private alert dialog.builder. Let's call this builder. I think it's always what we do. Private alert dialog. Let's just do dialog. And here I'm going to actually instantiate a layout inflator. Call this inflator as such. And we're going to be using all of those. So back to our method delete here. I'm going to instantiate our builder as we called. New alert builder pass context. All right, okay, that's needed. And then I'm going to use inflator. It's going to be equal to layout inflator dot from, passing the context. We need that. And then I can say view. I'm going to use the inflator, or it's equal to inflator that is dot inflate, and r.id, r.layout should say confirmation pop, pass null. All right, so we have that. And then I'm going to instantiate our buttons because we have two of those, right? So we can say button. First one is going to be no button is equal to what? View dot find by ID, r.id dot no button, and next button here, yes button, view dot find by ID, r.id dot, you say yes confirmation button. So here I'm going to go ahead and say builder dot set view and pass our view we just created at the top here, and then I'm going to say dialog is equal to builder dot create. Now we have our dialog and we can just show it. Very good. So let's set our buttons here. So the no button, I'm going to say dot set on click listener, new on click listener. There we go. And I'm going to also say the yes button here. So yes button dot set on click listener, new on click listener. There we go. Very good. So you know what to do here. So in case they say yes, we're going to go ahead and proceed with all the deleting that we want to do. Well, all the deleting that we want to do is where? Well, we've done all of this inside here. So I'm going to cut all of this. And inside of yes, put it all there. Now we have to make this final because it's inside of another method, another class, and so forth. Okay, there we go. And once all is done, we're going to go ahead and say dialog.dismiss because we want to get rid of that dialog. Very good. When they say no, all we have to do is just say dialog.dismiss because there's nothing else that we need to do. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and run this. We should see now every time we try to delete something, we should be asked whether we are sure or not. Let's try to delete milk. So click and voila. Are you sure? If you say no, nothing happens. Click again. If you say yes, and it's gone. Now you notice here, this is not very pretty. Let's put this probably to the top a little bit. Let's go back to our confirmation. This is just cosmetics, as you very well know by now. Let me change this text here. Make it text size bigger. Say about 17 SP. There we go. Let's go to margin top. Let's give it perhaps more, about 30. Maybe more. Let's say 40 dp. Okay. I'm going to copy this and add the same thing to our button there. Okay, so there at least there's some space between the title and everything else. So it looks like something is not quite right. Oh, right, because I already have that. So let's delete one of them. All right, it's not a big deal here really, but I just like to work on cosmetics a little bit. So let's go ahead and click again. All right, that's much better. The text is bigger and we can see there's more visible and looks good. All right, so things are actually working. So we are indeed deleting. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything so you can see what happens when we delete everything. So let's go ahead and say yes. All of our hard work is leaving us. There we go. Okay. And the final one, yes. Now we're going to go in and run. If that's true, we have everything. We should go back to the first screen. Voila, it works. So that bypass first screen, first main activity is still working because we delete everything. Now we can go ahead and add, let's say, diapers, maybe big number, white, 3. Let's go ahead and save this. We should see the same thing happening. We take into this new view here. There we go. Looking really, really nice. All right. And from here, I can go and say add Let's see, car seat, just one is enough, black, whatever that means. Let's go ahead and save. A few seconds later, there we go, we can see. All right, that's very good. So it is indeed working, folks, and we can keep adding. Why not? Let's say blankets, about close to 200, and blue, just one. You add, a few seconds later, and it's added, and it's really good. So things are still working. And the other thing we can do, we can actually change this floating button instead of being to the right here, because you can see it's actually hiding the delete button. We can move it to the left if we wanted to do so. So you know how to do that. Let's do just that real quick. So we have to go to, I believe it was list, activity list. Is that correct? Yes, it is indeed. So I can just come and move this somewhere there. Save. Let's refresh. And just like that, we have it there. Okay. You can add items from here as well and get out of there if we want to do. And get out of it, as you saw, just by clicking away. All right, so we are pretty much done here, folks. So the next thing, in fact, I want you to do, because I showed you how to do delete, right? I want you to do the update. Now, what do you think is going to happen with update? Well, the idea here is very simple. We're going to reuse what we already have. When we click update, we're going to go and invoke our first alert dialog, the pop-up alert dialog, right? Because that's what we want to do. And when you do that, we populate back all of these items that we have inside of this card, so that then user is able to do what? Well, rewrite everything if they want to do so. So changing the numbers, changing the item name, whatever they want to do, and then hit save. Once that happens, we're going to invoke, of course, the save method from our database handler. I really think you can do this because you've done this before and all of the tools are here with you. So do that for your next challenge. Perfect. Thank you. I'll see you next time.